let's jump right into some of these great before and after photos that subscribers have sent in to the HortTube with Jim Putnam channel. This first one is from Mark and Jill in Everett, Washington. So this is going to be zone 8B. You can see this blank slate on the side of their house here, where they've obviously adding some compost. They bought this house, they moved in this house in 2014, started the garden in 15. Another view from a little covered porch in the front here of all the prep that was underway here. And then look at this. This time, the time has passed, and this is an amazing, really amazing space. I love the path that just comes off of this covered porch area and leads you out into this garden space. Little close-up view of the gazebo that's there. What a great looking space, from a blank slate to this. Really love this. Great angle here from the rooftop view of this little garden. And they put a fence out there in the front, which is, probably keeps us a bit more private as well. I didn't notice that until just then. But what a great space. You guys have done just an amazing job up there in Washington State. I'm jumping in here real quick just to say thank you very much for sending in these before and after photos. I've really enjoyed watching them. There are over 200 emails, and I think this is the 4th video that I'm putting up from this, and I barely touched the emails that have been sent. So thank you so much for participating. If you're interested in sending in before and after photos, this is the email address right here, horttube@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Next up, this is Pat in Holly Springs, North Carolina. Holly Springs is in the same county that Raleigh is in, Wake County, and it's the very kind of the southern tip of Wake County. So this is going to be zone 7B, 8A, something like that, right on the edge of 8. This is just obviously a blank slate. They purchased this house in 2012, and the next photo is 10 years later in 2022. And look how amazing this is. The shed looks great. The shed is a piece of artwork in this garden. The path going along the side here looks fantastic. I really love this space. Great, really great work. And they in the email it said, although I'm a long-term gardener, I so appreciate your wisdom in growing my garden. So thank you very much. It doesn't look like you needed a whole lot from me, because you've really transformed this space. Next up, this is a big-time transformation. This person actually graduated from Wake Forest University School of Divinity in 2019. That's over in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That may be a hour and 20-minute drive for me, something like that. Wake Forest University was originally in Wake Forest, North Carolina, which is also in Wake County, just like the last one. And I grew up near where the original college was there in Wake Forest until the 2nd grade. But it moved over to Winston-Salem a long time ago. That's where they graduated from. But this garden is actually in Indiana, zone 6B. And you can see pretty blank slate back here. Most of this garden is apparently part shade with a couple sunny spaces. But they have added a ton of plants. And actually it says overall in my front and backyard I've put in over 1,000 plants. My wife and my bank account think this is more than enough. That was kind of a funny, but look at this transformation from that to this. Really looks great. And again, they're bringing the height away from the foundation. These are the perfect size shrubs when you have a patio space like this, because you can sit down in a chair and feel like you have some privacy, but then you can stand up and look out over the rest of the garden. I really like when we think about the height of things that we'd want around a patio. It's kind of nice to sit down in some privacy, but stand up and have a view. So this is their view from that space down into the corner, and then bam, there's a nice seating area down there. One of the things I like to do is, get all the hard surfaces, where you're not mowing right up to a fence. So you create a line that's easier to mow and easier to maintain. So they've mulched around the entire, perimeter of this fence space. And then here's a photo of lots of things in flower. So thank you very much, Paul, for sending these in. That's an amazing transformation. Next up, we have Becky's Landscape in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Kannapolis used to be a sleepy little suburb of Charlotte, and now it's its own city. A pretty big and very, very fast-growing area. of North Carolina. They have she has 3 dogs, wanted a safe space for them, so created this really nice front garden space that has the fence in the front, and then the really nice bed lines running around this, really nice curves. I love the pops of chartreuse color in there, and the red, the vibrant, there's some orange in there, there's some, vibrant colors, and then you have the green kind of backdrop that allow those colors to stand out from a distance. Really like what she did with this front garden. And then she had this back corner, little fenced in area here, and turned this into a really neat room in the back corner. It looks fantastic. Again, it's probably an area you're just going to mow for the rest of your life without really any purpose to it. It turned it into a really nice space. So thank you very much for sending these in, Becky. Beyond the 1,300 plus videos that I've put on YouTube over the last 6 years teaching gardening, there's also a Learn to Garden video series over on my website, HortTube.com. If you're interested in that, there is a discount code below this video. If you're interested in that series of videos, it is basically a start to finish video series that includes design all the way through maintenance of your ornamental landscapes. I'm continuing to add content to that. This is something you purchase once, and I'm continuing to build the content out for, a long time from now. So there's going to be lots and lots more coming from that. So again, once you buy it, you own it. I have an absolute ton of emails, and somehow I've grabbed mostly North Carolina ones in this particular video, this 4th video in this series. This one is actually in Goldsboro, North Carolina, which is a little south and east of me. You can head toward the beach and go through Goldsboro from here. This is, love having the puppies in the photos as well. Holly's always in a big part of I've always been a big part of my channel. But here's laying out the beds, because this is going to be a sidewalk going around, and rather than having the angular 90-degree sidewalk that most places have, put in a much more interesting space, and it's got a seating area over there. And I like the curves in it. We have houses that have angular driveways and everything's angular, so it's nice, to take a little bit of time and add some curves, some more natural looking curves into spaces like this. And then here is some of the plantings, and it just really looks great. And that curve in the sidewalk, created this also curve in this bed that really, I really like this space. And then here's a close-up of some of the flowering things, probably slightly earlier in the season. They had moved into this space back in 2016, and then these photos are a project that started back in 2020. So thank you so much, Brian, for sending these great photos in. So you may recognize this next one from YouTube. This is actually Dee's yard, if you don't follow her on YouTube. Little woodland edge here with the puppy in the photo, and really transformed this space. Just looks completely different. That's just a really great use of that edge, and it's again much easier to maintain, right? You can just take the mower along this now and maintain it much easier, and it's just really interesting. And it's kind of how you would naturally see a wood line, right? You would see some low undergrowth things along a woodland forest like this. So this is just kind of recreating what it would probably look like anyway, but with more interesting, colorful things. And then here's a shed. And again, I got lots and lots of these photos with folks really doing up their sheds. So, started out with just, really basic but large shed, much larger than mine, and really turned it into, a great addition, a great part of the garden. I love the hanging baskets on it, the art on the side of it, planter under that window. All this looks great. Really enjoyed, and you guys can watch some of her transformation on YouTube, on the YouTube channel Dee's Yard. I did forget to mention that Dee's Yard is East Tennessee Zone 7A. The next up here, this is Gwyneth. They're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Zone 7A. Had an existing garden here as they were moving in. It was a bit overgrown, some older shrubs that either needed to have some control added to them. You can always try to reset something, right? We can try to cut them to the ground and see how they respond from that, or, we can go ahead and, remove them and start over. I love this transformation here, basically same exact view back to it. Nothing is blocking, which is a really nice deck and a really nice rail. The rail is really part of the garden as well. The white and black contrast there. All the plants look great. I think this is the other side. Just had this big giant shrub. I think that might be a Colquitzia. I may be wrong about that, but that's what it looks like. Just blocking the other side of that deck entirely. And went in here and got it under control. Put in a weeping red bud that will get some size on it. Right down there below that that umbrella. That's one of those Ruby Falls red buds. So that'll get wider, and it will still create some privacy. Again, the shrub was 8 feet tall, and you couldn't stand up and ever look around it or beyond it. Everything now will get up to the height where you'll feel like you're in a private space when you're seated, but you can still stand up and look out over the garden. Here's again a front area out by the road where when they purchased the place, the shrubs were kind of overgrown, and they just wanted to go in here and tame it and have completely transformed this space. It's more open. And lots of pollinator plants out here, to enjoy the space. And I would imagine probably backing out of the driveway is a little bit easier, so you don't run down your neighbors as they're walking down the street. But again, great pollinator garden created out of the end of this driveway existing bed that was already here. Thank you very much, Gwyneth, for sending these in. Next up, this is Mark down in Central Florida, Zone 9B. This is a very typical garden space in South Florida. I mean, anywhere from middle down, you'll get these, fenced off back garden spaces that have swimming pools, and we'll see the screened-in swimming pool in just a minute. And they really, they're great spaces, and of course you can have a tropical garden here. Here's another view of it. You can see that screened-in porch space, but again, he had a big, pretty good sized space to work with here to turn into this tropical oasis. This is right after planting, right when the sidewalk had gone in. The shrubs are still pretty small, and then here it is, filling in later on. There's a seating area that's been added into that back corner, and I imagine there's a good portion of the fall and winter months that you could really enjoy a space like that down in that part of Florida. And here's a little, slightly closer up view with the just really, a complete and total transformation. And there's also not a lot of maintenance to do here, right? I mean, he took a space that constantly probably needed to be weed eated and sprayed and mowed, and turned it into, a fairly low maintenance space. And here's, a very up to date photo. Just really looks fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark, for sending these in. I'm really enjoying. Here we've seen kind of a tropical garden. We've seen something up in Indiana, several from North Carolina. So we're seeing lots of different, one in Washington State, seeing lots of different areas of the country. Next up, we have a couple transformations. This is from Rachel down in Georgia. I'm guessing this is Zone 7B or possibly even 8A. Blank slate on the side of the house here, and really wanted to create a pollinator garden where you could look out these windows and view everything up close, and has really pulled that off. You can see initially this bed was very angular, but she added some curves here, and I really do think that adds a lot to these types of beds. To not, I think it's very difficult for humans sometimes to think in curves. We think of everything, it seems like, in very angular spaces, but I love that she changed that up and then created this little path through the garden. I've talked about in my Learn to Garden video series about leaving lots of bed edges. So by having a bed edge that's along the turf allows you to plant some low things, and then having the stepping stones going through the bed allows you left and right of the stepping stones to also include some low things. And so you don't end up you end up being able to have lots more opportunity to put in some low-growing, interesting pollinator things that don't get lost in the space because they're all the same height. by creating more edges like that. Here's some Joe Pye weed in bloom here. This is probably that little Joe Pye weed that I have back here in the back garden. That's a Kufia down in front of it. Really filled in nicely during the summertime, and continue to have things out here late summer that are looking great. This next transformation is big time. They had a big sloped space. Oh no, one more photo from the pollinator garden, and then this big sloped space. And these are, boy, these are difficult things to inherit. This this was probably quite a challenge, even to work on. It's absolute full sun. Have rabbits, chipmunks, and then you had blackberries and stuff up there, and very difficult things to fight to get to this point. But look at this space. There's a couple of Arizona cypress up there, and this just really looks fantastic, and has solved a what do we do with this space kind of a thing. All these roots will help hold this. Hold all this in place, and there'll be less mulching in time. Obviously, you're looking at this going, man, that's a lot of mulch to go up on that hill. That's going to be a lot of work each time. But as these low-growing, mounding shrubs and the Arizona cypress get bigger, as everything gets bigger, this will be less and less work, less and less mulching to do each time. Thank you very much, Rachel, for sending those in. So number 10 is from Wendy, and I really wanted to finish up with this one because I liked this story. They moved into this house in 2019 when they retired, and were surprised that there was a 97-foot wide by 30-foot hill instead of the woods behind their house. So this has been clear cut and created, honestly, what could potentially be just a major, major headache. And so they had watched my channel, and my channel helped them avoid a monoculture. So rather than going out and trying to solve the thing with just one plant, a lot of times, and this has been the history of my 37 years in horticulture, people want to find one plant that solves the problem. And if you plant all of one thing frequently, that's going to, if you ever have a problem, whether it be cold, insect, disease, whatever it is, that problem is going to move through your entire bed. So she's avoided a monoculture. They had, unfortunately, 4 trees fall across what they've created back here. And I love the attitude from this email, which was just like, it created an opportunity. So 4 trees fell on my garden. It's not the end times. We're going to be able to go out and shop for some things that we were probably, we were interested in and we had seen recently. So I love that way to look at it. I lost 127 trees in Hurricane Fran at my old house, and it took a long time to clean up. It took a long time to recover, but at the end of it, it was an opportunity, to create different types of spaces. So, I love that positive outlook. Here we go. Here's some of the things that were, added into this space. A couple of more close-up views here, and then we'll finish up with this photo of the entire space. And as you can see, all the diversity in this space. Upright, narrow trees, lower growing shrubs, roses, just an amazing, pollinator space. And all of these different species working together will invite in all kinds of pollinators, all kinds of beneficial insects that can help control some of the pest insects that we have. It will invite birds into this space, and birds are going to be very, very helpful at controlling pests as well, and they're an important part of the overall, how the overall system works. So I loved this, getting this set of photos and all the photos that I've gotten. But I enjoyed this, reading that email, just because, again, it's, you inherited something that seemed like it was going to be terrible and turned it into something great. 4 trees dropped on it, and that's an opportunity. So I love that positive energy. So thanks again for sending in these great before and after photos of your incredible gardens. I've enjoyed reading all of your notes, all of the folks that have been subscribed to the channel for 4 and 5 and 6 years who have put these gardens together. It's really amazing, and it's, gives me encouragement too that I haven't, that what I've been doing here has made some sort of impact on your garden. So thanks for sending them in.